Hey guys, Mike the Bee here. So here we are. We're on day number 2 of the Sacred Heart Soup diet. So today is Veggie Day. So I'm just kind of going to go over some of the stuff that I have learned. Of course, again, this is my second time doing this, so I'm just trying to help you out with a few tips and tricks and things I kind of discovered going through this the first time. Hopefully, that'll give you some help and some ideas to basically make this easy for you as it did for me. Um, so, the first thing I want to talk about is the veggies. So, let me get my little cheat sheet. Remember when I showed you guys I made these cards? Well, they hang on the fridge, so it's easy for me to find, easy for me to kind of remind myself, what am I doing today? Like what's my, what's the day? What am I able to have today, etc., etc. So today is of course vegetables and the soup. The soup is very important. Don't forget that you need at least one serving every day of the soup. But so today is vegetables. And then for dinner, have your baked potato with butter, um, in addition to the vegetables in the soup. I like to do the baked potato, and then you can season it however you want to. So don't forget that. Use seasoning; it'll help you out a lot. That way, I mean, because a lot of people think, oh, I just have to eat like raw vegetables. No, you can cook them however you want, season them however you want. Of course, the more raw you have, the more. So like, try not to use as much salt. You can use salt and pepper, other herbs and spices. Try not to use as much salt. Little bit is fine, but the less you are able to use, the better. This is going to work for you. But yeah, so the baked potato for dinner. Your veggies, your soup. I like to do the baked potato. I like to do some roasted vegetables usually. Pop them in the oven 400 degrees. If they're non-frozen, they usually take about 30 minutes. If they are frozen, I would give them at least 40 minutes. Just have a nice kind of roasted flavor to them. Season again those however you want to. They're delicious. If you've never done that before, it does say to stay away from the dry beans, peas, and corn. Basically, they're saying stay away from like your bean, your seed categories. I think nuts is usually in there as well. So yeah, because you're basically eliminating as much like fat, salt, carbs, like a lot of that stuff you're trying to eliminate during this diet. So just remember all that. So anyway, I wanted to show you guys. Um, this is what we prefer, or I prefer. Um, so if this doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. Again, this is just ideas. This is what I've done and what I find works for me. So I'm just trying to give you guys some ideas of what to do, what to use, what to look for. Be creative, think outside the box. It's going to help you out a lot. Um, so we just use various vegetables. So I like the baby carrots. They're already kind of ready to go. They're really easy. They're in a manageable bite size, snacking size. I mean, it is a bite, but some of them are a little bit big, so maybe two bites. I like celery. So you can get these pre-cut, but it's usually cheaper to get the ones that aren't pre-cut, and then you can just chop them up yourself to the size you want. So I do that. I put them in a Ziploc bag. They're ready to go. Grab and go. Make it as easy and as convenient for yourself as you can. Trust me that you'll love yourself. I didn't prepare any of these, but I do love a good radish. It adds a little spice. They have that kind of that um, I guess spicy radish flavoring and stuff. So it's something different from like a carrot or a celery. Carrot's usually a little sweeter, celery a little bit more bland, and then you have your radish to give you some spice. Again, this is my personal preference, so if you like other things, do other things. But remember, today is vegetable day, so all vegetables. I did find out in research while I was doing this, the potato is considered a vegetable, but it's a starch. So that's why they don't include the potato when they say, eat your vegetables. Potato not in there. So don't eat a ton of those. Eat a ton of the other stuff. What we did find though is so even though this is technically not supposed to be, I guess, on the diet if you're following it like to the T, like strictly and all that stuff. So we found hummus. This particular hummus is actually really, really good. We found it at our local BJ's, which is kind of like a big box store where you buy like in bulk, like a Costco, Sam's Club, that sort of thing. If you don't have one, near you, that's what it is. But anyway, this is made by Wesley Farms. This one we found to be quite delicious. It comes in a pretty good sized tub too. It's chickpea, spinach, marinated artichokes, and sesame uh, tahini. I'm not really like I've never been like huge on hummus. I don't dislike it. It's just never been like a go-to for me. But this one is it's quite tasty, especially on Veggie Day. Um, so like when I go to work. So I basically take some of the vegetables, I throw them in Ziploc bags. I have these little containers. I don't have one handy. These little containers, and I just take some of this hummus and I put it in there, and I basically have my dip for lunch. I bring a thing of soup with me. So I usually start with the soup, and then I snack on the veggies, throughout for lunch. I also do this because if you have these little snack kind of size things, like especially when you first do this, if you get a little peckish and you're like, oh my God, I need something, I need some substance, you know. So me, I'm a baker, and I know, like, I'm around sweets and sugar all day long. Um, but our job is very physically demanding. So there's a lot of walking back and forth, long distances. I easily do 10,000 steps a day when I'm at work. Like that's like bare minimum. So it goes up from there. So I'm on my feet. I'm moving a lot. So, if you don't have a whole lot, for your body to feed on, especially when you first start this, you can drain yourself out down really really fast and feel a little peckish. So if you have your snacks like ready to go, I don't know, depending on your situation where you can store things or whatever. I'm very lucky. We have a lot of coolers and stuff where we can put things where it's very accessible to us at any given time. Um, Go in, get you a few pieces of carrot, celery, whatever your choice is, and have a snack. I also bring one of the juices with me, so I always have a bottle of the juice in with like my lunch, my snacks, all that stuff. So if I go in and I'm like, okay, I need something, I can grab a couple things of carrots or whatever. I can have a swig of juice or whatever. And that seems to work for me. Like, especially when you start this diet. I know when we first started, we made a lot of soup. We made two crock pots worth. Of course, there's three of us. It was me, Will, and his mother. We were all doing it together. So we went through a lot of soup the first week. And that's just because we were so used to eating these huge portions of food all the time. So not only are you doing this like to kind of lose weight and get back into better shape and eating a little cleaner than you probably were before, you're also shrinking your stomach in the process, which is something I learned. And you get to where when you're hungry, you're not like so hungry you can eat like a whole like chicken or something like that. Like you find that you or at least I did. I found that I was eating a lot less than I did before. And then, now that we're making the better choices, we have a lot more fruit, a lot more vegetables, just kind of laying around in the house now, and that's a good thing because instead of us grabbing for candy bars and things all the time, we now are going for things like our apples, our oranges, our carrots, our celery, things of that nature first. Grapes, just different things, which are, of course, the better option as to the other. Not to say we don't have candy in the house, Because a lot of people think, okay, diet, you can't have any of this stuff. And that's the problem a lot of people have when they do these diets. They, you completely restrict yourself. And when you're first doing it, I'd say, yeah, you probably should because you need to get your mindset back to the cleaner eating, the better choices, etc., etc. So as you're going on this journey, you learn. At least I did. You learn all these different things, and if you do some research, you'll really help yourself. So dark chocolate. I'm talking dark. So we get these 72%. This is Ghirardelli brand, the intense dark. So the higher the percentage of the cacao, the better. So there's less sugar, less fat, etc., etc. So we get these. Okay, they come in like a multi pack. We also found Godiva does like this dark chocolate kind of masterpiece that we found. Try to focus. These are really good. I like these a lot. I mean, I like the other ones too, but that's kind of what we have now in our candy dish. So when we do get like that craving of, I need something sweet, and even though fruit and stuff has natural sugars in it and it can be something sweet, sometimes you just feel like I need chocolate, I need candy, And not saying you couldn't get a regular candy bar or piece of candy if you wanted to, because now it's not something you have all the time. So, and that's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be a treat. Everything in moderation. But if you like the darker, so some people don't like this because it's more bitter than like your milk chocolates and other candies, Snicker bars and stuff that people have come to grow and love in America. Um, but yeah, so if you kind of get used to it, or you find that you actually do like, the darker chocolates better, or just as much as the others, then you can have a better choice, with you all the time. So it's just little things like this, like little changes, nothing major, nothing crazy, and don't like restrict yourself so much. Don't put yourself in that mindset because that's where people fall off the bandwagon and they go back to their old eating habits or whatever because they're just like, I can't have it. Well, what happens when you tell somebody don't do something or you can't have something? They're going to do it or they're going to go and get it. So it's kind of the same thing. You're basically, mind tricking yourself in a sense. But yeah, so again, so this is day two. It's Veggie Day. Hopefully, if you're following along and you're giving this a try, you're doing good and you're keeping up with it. And just stay strong. I mean, I found this particular diet to be easier than what I thought it was going to be, especially when I started reading and really researching stuff, like as far as what to make for like dinner and snacks and whatever. And again, you really have to you have to think. If you're not used to like making your own dinners or making like snacks, everything was pre-made. Um, you really have to you have to think outside the box. You have to use spices like, you know, trust me, it works. It'll help a lot. And you learn a lot of things. You try different things and you find out what works together and what doesn't. And then, you just kind of go from there. So anyway, so again, day two, veggies. Eat your veggies, lots and lots of veggies today. Have the soup. Don't forget your potato with butter at dinner. Um, Again, use your spices, use uh, your herbs. Like, make it delicious, and trust me, you can. You can make it. You can make it very, very good, and not feel like you're on a diet at all. I know that's what I did, and that's kind of what helped me, and that's why I'm doing this again because I know it works. I know I can do it. I know you can do it too. So, thank you for following along on this journey. That's all I have for now. This is Mike the Bee. You never know where I'm going to be. Right now, I'm in my kitchen, but I'm just going to be. So, I'll see you guys later. Bye!